Today's question is, are you religious? Are you religious? We're going to find this out today. Are you religious? Now, a lot of people say that they're not religious, yet they do everything that a religious person would do. They believe everything that a religious person believes. All because people don't know what being religious is. Now, my whole point of making this video is to not beat nobody down or act like I got the answers to everything, but I do know the difference between being religious and not being religious. Now, I've heard Christians tell me that they're not religious. Now, religion is a man-made way of doing things. Religion is a man's idea of how things should be done. Religion is a set of rules that you have to follow if you're going to be a part of a certain mindset. That's what religion is. So, if you're a Christian, you have to be religious, because Christianity is a religion. You can't be Christian and not religious at the same time. How? It's not possible. Either you don't believe in a religion or you do. Now, people might say, how is Christianity a religion? Christianity is not a religion. That's what some people think. That's what I thought. But Christianity is a book. It comes from a book. The whole idea comes from a man. It's made up by a man. So therefore, it is religion. It is a thing to follow. It's religion. You cannot be Christian and say that you're not religious, because Christianity is a religion. Okay? So now, people might be saying, okay, Christianity is a religion, so I believe in Jesus, so I guess I'm just going to stay religious. And then the question is, can you be non-religious? Can you not have a religion and still believe in God? And the question is, yes. And you probably say, how can you not have a religion and still believe in God? Don't you need a religion to believe in God? No! The people who created the religion didn't have a religion when they created it. And they so-called believe in God. They so-called know God. But the fact of the matter is, nobody knows God. If we knew God, then we wouldn't need God. See, when you understand what God is and not who God is. See, religion teaches us that God is a man. That's why they put Jesus there. That's why they put all these different gods in front of God, because they want you to believe that God is a man. That's the only way they can describe God, with the characteristics of a man. That's why I am not religious at all. I don't follow any religions. I don't follow any other gods other than the God of creation, the God who created me. That's the only thing that I know for a fact is real. Religion has all these different ideas, different stories, different methods, different this, different that, different churches, different beliefs, different belief systems, different things you got to do. But God is God all by himself. And I got to stop calling it him, because religion taught me to call God him. when God is not in him. God is a force. God is bigger than what we know. God cannot be understood because God goes beyond understanding. The creator of all things cannot be understood. How can it be understood? You have to be a creator of all things to understand the creator of all things. So that's why I am not religious, because I understand that religion is man's defined, man-made, man's idea of what God is. Man's idea of who God is. Man's idea of who are God's people. But the fact of the matter is, and you can look around you, we're all God's people. We were all created by the same God that created everything. So how could we say that God is inside of a religion? How could we hold on so dearly to these religions and these books when God is the creator, not the books? We worship these books. We idolize these books and ideas of a man. When God created all things, he didn't just create one religion. He didn't just create one group of people. He created all people, all things, all animals. God was never a religious God. If God was religious, then God would be limited, because then if you're a religious God, then you can only be a God to a certain people. God is not a God just for you. God is not a God just for me. God is for us, meaning all of us. God created all these things and all of these resources for all of us to enjoy, all of us to have. He created ups and downs, rising and falling. He created black and white. He created positive and negative. He created opposites. He created all of these things for us to be able to sustain life in this world that we live in. God did not create religion. Man created religion, and that's why in so many religious organizations there's separation. Nobody can agree on what's what. Everybody trying to follow a certain curriculum, when God did not create us to be limited by any religion. God did not create a man with restrictions. A man does not have restrictions when he knows who his God is. If you know what God is, and you understand that you'll never completely know God, you'll never completely understand God, then you'll always rely on God, and you won't be limited by man and man-made religions. Man-made religions. I'm getting tongue-tied. It's this green smoothie that I bought from downtown Miami out this produce shop. It's supposed to be all natural. I drank this thing, it started burning the back of my throat, giving me a headache. I was like, what is wrong with this? And it was hot. It's still hot. It's nasty. But you cannot be religious and a Christian at the same time. You cannot be a part of any kind of religious organization if you say you're not religious. And that does not mean that you cannot believe in God because you're not a part of a church. You're not a part of a denomination. You don't have a title behind your name. That don't mean that you cannot believe in God, because God existed before religion existed. And before religion existed, the world was a better place. Because we were all under God. We were all not brainwashed by the ideas of man. Can you imagine a world that has not been brainwashed by the ideas of man? Like, it wouldn't be a lot of homeless people. It wouldn't be a lot of single people. The reason why we deal with our situations and the reason why the world is so corrupt and crazy is because we've allowed man to basically dictate how we should live our lives. And most of the time, the motive of the people who are over the religions and over the governments, their whole mission in life is to just control you, just to get you to follow them. We got to understand that. If you want to be under God, you got to be free. You can't be under God if you're bound by religion. You can't be under God if you're bound by a government. You can't be under God if you're bound by anything, because God is free. God is power. God is not a bounded God. God is a God of abundance. God is a God of self-containment. God is not a God of lack. But this is what we've been conditioned to think. We believe that there's lack when there's lack. We believe that there's a failure when there's a failure. But life is made to not have and to accomplish. Not having to get. You may be lacking today, but tomorrow you may not be lacking because you have resources. There's nothing in this life that you cannot get and achieve. Only time you have limitations on your life is when you put limitations on your life with religion. We put limitations on our life with laws. We put limitations on our life when we worship the ideas of man. The idea of man is a religion. You have to become one with God. You have to become one with God. And the way you become one with God is when you remove yourself from the control of man. You'll never see freedom if you're still bound by man. If you're still bound by a law, you're still bound by a book. There was God before there was a religion. There was God before there was a book. There was God before there was a preacher. There was God before there was a church building. God is what I believe in. You can keep your religions. You can keep your ideas. But I just want to live my life to its fullest. I will not be restricted by any religion. I will not be restricted by any man's idea. I understand that the only thing that can stop me in life is me and my own idea, my own mind, my own faith. Me. I'm responsible for my own life. Me. I'm responsible for how I'm able to move in my own life. Me. Not a religion. God created me to be free. God created me to have abundance. God created me to be able to fall down and get back up. God created me to create. God created me to produce. God created me to be whatever I want to be. Whatever I want to be. If I want to be good, if I want to be bad, I can be those things. The choice has always been mine. The choice has always been yours. So don't let religion and don't let your situation dictate your outcome of your life. Because we're not born to be bound by anything. Pay attention. And I'm out.